Hey guys, it's Amir here again for the Man United Nation YouTube channel. It's been a long month for me. I was on family vacation previously, and so I haven't been able to make videos. I apologize for that. And this video will recap our start to the season, and I will be regular after this, I promise. So let's start off. We've played 6 matches so far. The first one was against Spurs. Nothing really of note. United's attack malfunctioned. Rooney was pretty awful. We scored through a Kyle Walker-Owen goal. I mean, we got lucky. We were probably a little bit better than Spurs, but a draw wouldn't have been an unfair result. Adnan scored in the win away against Villa. At this point, things are still looking quite rosy. United have yet to concede. We play Brugge at home. Memphis Depay lights up Old Trafford. 2 beautiful goals, especially the first one, where he dinks it over the defender and then takes the shot. It's great. I loved it. That having been said, I didn't watch it. I mean, I saw the highlights later, but I was driving at the time. I wasn't able to watch the match. So for me, it was just the highlights were the Depay show, as well as the Fellaini goal at the end, which pretty much summed up the best of Marouane Fellaini for me. And Fellaini put together more in that match than Rooney did in the first 2 as an attacker, so that was a bit notable for me. Newcastle at home, first 20 minutes, awesome. We went forward well. Newcastle figured us out, and then we had no answer to that. Petered out, 0-0 draw. We were probably the better team again, but not enough, and the draw was a fair result. Brugge away, I mean, they had to attack us, and they did a little bit, and that left them open at the back. Rooney scored a hat-trick. He hasn't replicated the form in other formats, and Brugge are pretty awful. So not really anything to note from there. The big match for me is the most recent one, which is the Swansea match. Our first loss of the season, our first conceded goals of the season. And for me, Swansea are a great team. I think they'll upset a lot of sides. You know, they give Chelsea a run for their money in the opening fixture. But we honestly should be trying to do better. It's excusable to lose to Swansea if we beat Newcastle at home. My target at the international break was to have 9 points, so we're running 2 behind, in my opinion. As that said, Man City have sort of blown that out of the water and gone to 12 and won everything and have yet to concede a goal. So that's a little bit frightening, but for me, we're 2 points off of where I'd like to see us right now, and our football's simply not good enough. Against Swansea, our defense was exposed. We conceded 2 goals. A lot of people have pointed the finger at Daley Blind. I think that's unfair. I think Blind has done his job more or less. For me, while he's not the fans' choice to receive criticism, for me, the person who should be criticized for both goals is Sergio Romero and Luke Shaw. Let me clarify, Sergio Romero is being targeted by the fans. I'm talking about Luke Shaw, who deserves criticism. Because Luke Shaw, for me, like he did in the first half against Brugge, he's been out of position. He always goes too far forward. Never went forward, but he went forward down the wing and tracked back. Luke Shaw has also gone central a little bit. And for me, he sort of goes across the field to try to suss things out like a defensive midfielder. But he's not a defensive midfielder, he's a left back, and he needs to stick to his position in the way Matteo Darmian does, and not leave it like just a vacillating hole there in the way that Raphael used to. And so for me, that sort of was something that needed to be highlighted. Luke Shaw has to improve against Liverpool, or we will concede goals down his flank. Sergio Romero is a capable number 2. He did well for 5 matches, but against Swansea, we saw why Sergio Romero cannot be the United number 1. David De Gea is staying. I'll talk about that in a future video. And for me, he should be our number 1 goalkeeper from the Liverpool match onwards. So moving on from there, that's basically been our matches. We haven't performed excitingly. No one's really dominated a match except for Memphis Depay against Brugge, and I didn't watch that one, so I can't really tell you much about that. Defensively, we were quite solid for the first 5 matches, and keep in mind I'm talking about in all competitions right now, so I guess that's a bit of a bonus. I thought Blind has done fairly well at centre-back. Chris Smalling has been immense, as he has been since the red card at City. Darmian has been solid, although he started off as a 9 out of 10, and he's sort of slipped to a 6.5 with some of his later performances. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still putting in a shift every week, and he's not out of position the way Raphael used to be. I'd still much rather see him play than Luis Antonio Valencia, but he's not been the same player who was against Spurs the man of the match. So moving on from there, just a couple of storylines. The form of Wayne Rooney as a striker. He's not scored goals except for against Brugge. Let's be honest. He's not looked like scoring goals. Particularly against Swansea. I mean, in other matches, you could complain that he didn't get the chances. Against Swansea, he had the chances, he just didn't score. And so for me, that was a bit worrying that Rooney didn't pull the trigger. For me, though, Rooney's a number 10, he's not a number 9. Because he wants to go track back and come back for the ball. And that's something a 10 can do, a 9 can't, in my opinion. And so I don't think Rooney should be playing a striker. I'd sooner see Marouane Fellaini play there if he's not going to start Martial. Otherwise, Martial could play there for me. Either way, I don't want to see Rooney at number 9. Second question, Memphis Depay, is he the new Nani or Ronaldo? He's been inconsistent. There's been little end product in most matches from him. That's similar to the start both of the former Portuguese wingers had at United, but one turned out to be a world superstar, the other one turned out to be a bit of a dud. And he went to Fenerbahce, so anyone who thinks Nani was the greatest thing ever should notice he went to Fenerbahce and not, I don't know, let's say Atletico Madrid even. So there's a reason he went to Fenerbahce. Sergio Romero, as I've already said, he cannot be our number 1. He's just too error-prone. The second goal Swansea scored, David De Gea would have saved that. Anders Lindegaard would have saved that, honestly. The first one, I think De Gea might have saved it, but I'm not so sure, so I won't lay the criticism at Romero for the first. Next thing, I've already talked about Luke Shaw being out of position against Brugge and Swansea. That's giving me some nightmares ahead of the match against Liverpool, and I really hope he can get it together because he's great going forward. But part of me is even thinking, should we maybe play Rojo or Blind just to be a little bit more defensively sound? And lastly, Ander Herrera, he hasn't started except for against Brugge away. In the first half, he played in the pivot. For me, he was poor there. He gave the ball away. It was his second worst performance for United except for the West Brom match last season, and then he had an injured rib. So for me, it was his worst performance while fully fit, at least. And so Ander Herrera didn't deserve. He shouldn't play in the pivot for me. He doesn't have enough about him physically. He doesn't do enough defensively. He's more defensively contributing than most number 10s or even number 8s, but he's not going to be that shield player that you need in that system. So for me, if he's going to play in the system, he has to play at number 10. The problem is I think Rooney's better at number 10, so I don't think Ander Herrera will start, or honestly should start too many games this season. The thing is, let me sort of clarify that. Ander Herrera, I want him to start, but in a 4-3-3 system. I don't think Ander Herrera starts for United in a 4-2-3-1. So as long as we're playing this system, he shouldn't start. Should we play 4-3-3? Why don't you guys tell me that? Leave it in the comments below, and I'll get back to you guys. So 3 up, 3 down. 3 up, Morgan Schneiderlin, Chris Smalling, Marouane Fellaini. Fellaini seems a bit weird choice. He hasn't played too many minutes, but for me, Marouane Fellaini has showed why he's a great plan B for us in the matches that he has played. Even though Van Gaal misused him in the Swansea match, I must say. Chris Smalling has been immense. He's led the back line. Even when Blint has a little bit struggled with the more physical strikers, he's sort of gone mano-a-mano with them, and that's made it easier for Daly. And so for me, that's been great from Smalling. And Schneiderlin's been an immense shield for us. I noticed in the first half, or I guess Brugge in general, whenever Schneiderlin wasn't playing, we had essentially a gaping hole in midfield, and they were able to get through us far too easily. And they exposed us in defense. So, I mean, they didn't score their Brugge other crap, but that having been said, we should have done better, and Schneiderlin helps us do that. 3 down, Luke Shaw has been out of position at left back continuously against Brugge, continuously against Swansea, and while he was immense in the first 4 matches, for me that's enough to earn him at 3 down. Memphis Depay, he hasn't been our answer to Eden Hazard as we were all hoping. I mean, he's young, he needs time to settle. I hope he'll do really well in the future, and I think he truly can be our awesome new number 7 that we've been waiting for since Ronaldo. But that having been said, he hasn't performed at the level I was expecting in the first 6 matches, apart from the one that I didn't watch, conveniently enough. And then Wayne Rooney lastly down. He's supposed to play as the number 10. He did really well in that role against Man City last season in the 4-2. He kept the center backs busy and created space. He hasn't done that. He's dropped deep. He's come for the ball. He's played as a number 10 while being in the 9 position. And for me, you have to play according to the position that you are asked to play. And for me, that is a reason why Wayne Rooney's down. So where are we now and where can we hope to go? For me, we have the second most expensive squad in the Premier League, just to clarify for you guys. Man City, by a country mile, are more expensive than us. So that having been said, Man City should win the league. We should be trying to challenge them, though we have the quality of players now. Although it does need time to settle, maybe this year is one too soon. That having been said, we should finish second on money. We'll probably finish 3rd or 4th, because we need some time to settle as a team. Currently, we are 5th on 7 points, tied with Arsenal and Liverpool. Ahead of us, we have Man City in 1st, perfect, 12 points. 2nd, Crystal Palace, 9 points. And 3rd and 4th, we have Swansea and Leicester City. I don't think anyone expects Leicester City to be up there at the end of the season. Swansea probably will not be either, although I wouldn't rule them out entirely. I think they're a very good team, and I'm not just saying that because they beat us. I've been saying this since before the start of the season. So for me, Swansea will do well, but they won't finish in the top 4 probably. And that having been said, we're probably the second best team so far in terms of results out of the top clubs in England. So, I mean, I can't complain too much about results. I was targeting 9 points at this point. I thought we had to win the first 3 and then we could lose against Swansea. I budgeted for that in my tally. We're on 7, so we're 2 off that, and we need to pick up the pace. We need to pick up some unexpected points then. So yeah, that's been my review or my recap rather of the season so far. I know it's been a bit rushed. I didn't go into too much detail, but you know, those matches are kind of history now. It's been a while since I've seen them, and that having been said, I don't essentially United haven't been that great, so there's not too much to say. And the weaknesses that have been there are not ones that are easily resolved either. They kind of just need time and some trust from us as the fans. So yeah, I'm essentially looking forward to making new videos. I actually ordered 2 new kits this season. I'm wearing I have Mata on my home kit right now. It's from last year, and then I am getting the away kit and the third kit, the white and the black. So the away kit, I'm getting Martial on it, even though I've only ever seen him play for 10 minutes in the friendly that France played against Portugal. I'm trusting Van Gaal to make my money worthwhile there. And then my other one that I've bought, the third kit, I'm getting Memphis Depay 7 on it. And so that one I'm pretty sure will work out in the future, and I love the look of the kit. Although I would have preferred black and red instead of black and orange, personally speaking. Although I still love it, so I've got it. I've got both. They're both incoming. So yeah, there are more videos incoming. I'll probably unbox the 2 kits, even though you guys probably don't care, but I'll do it anyways for those of you who do. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'd love ideas of what kind of videos and previews you want to see out of the Liverpool match. Personally, I love tactics and stats, so we can talk a little bit about that if you guys are up for it. But yeah, let me know what you're interested in, and I promise that the videos will be more regular and more in-depth from now on. Fingers crossed my friend who's a Liverpool fan will contribute to the preview ahead of the match against Liverpool on the weekend, although I'm not going to promise that because I haven't discussed it with him just yet. So yeah, this is Amir for the Man United Nation YouTube channel, and I've enjoyed giving you a recap of the season so far. And I'm going to have some more videos up before the Liverpool match and before any coverage of the Liverpool match regarding the end of the transfer window from a United perspective. So yeah, thank you, and like, share, comment, and subscribe.